guys, I decided I'm going to make some chickpea salad for lunch today and thought I would just do a video for you while I am here. So first thing I'm going to use is chickpeas. Make sure you always buy organic. Beans are sprayed before they are harvested, so speed up the drying process to make it easier for harvesting. So make sure you always buy your beans organic. Other ingredients I'm going to be using, I definitely want the chickpeas. I want Dijon mustard. I have it upside down. Apple cider vinegar. Choose it with the mother in it. You want a raw unpasteurized apple cider vinegar. And tahini. Tahini is a seed butter, like nut butter, peanut butter, that kind of thing, but it's made with sesame seeds. It's very high in calcium. It can be a bit pricey. You do want to buy it organic, but a little bit goes a long way and it adds a really nice creaminess. And then I'm going to add some salt and pepper to that. So that is always my base. So chickpeas are usually, this chickpea salad is going to be replacing something kind of like a chicken salad. And chicken salad usually does have something crunchy. And so I'm going to add some celery. And I like a little bit of onion in it. And so I'm going to add some onion. And then there are other things that you can add. So sometimes when you see a chicken salad, sometimes it'll have curry flavors. So you could add a curry powder, maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons to that to make it a curry flavor. Sometimes they'll have fruit in it, apples, or raisins, which I thought I had an apple. I might have to go grab my apple. Apples or raisins or craisins. I'm going to throw some raisins in mine. Another thing that you want to buy organic. Grapes are on the dirty dozen list, which means they are oftentimes sprayed with pesticides and chemicals. And so you want to make sure you always buy organic because raisins are dry grapes. So make sure you do that. If you add craisins or cranberries, I have these. These are not organic. Always read the ingredients. I don't really care what it says in the nutrition facts. I care a little bit, but the main thing for me is the ingredients. And in these, number 1 is cranberries. So the good thing is that number 1 is cranberries. Number 2 is sugar. So at least it's sugar and not an artificial sugar or a part of a sugar. And then number 3 is sunflower oil. So this has sugar and oil in it, so I'm going to leave it out. My raisins are just raisins. That's all it says. Isn't that funny that it doesn't say grapes? Like you wonder how they dried the grapes. Anyway. And then I'm going to add some pecans. You could add pecans or walnuts. Sometimes I see almonds in chicken salad. And for extra color, flavor, and nutrients, I'm going to be shredding some carrot. So let me grab my apple. Yep, I left it over there. Okay, so here is my apple. Because I like apples in my chicken salad. All right, so first thing is I drained off the chickpeas. I didn't rinse them because I want a little bit of that liquid in there. And so let me add that. I'm drained off most of the liquid. Let me hold up this bowl so you can see how much liquid is in there. So you can see there's still some liquid in there, and that's going to make it easier to mash. I'm not going to mash them completely. I don't want it to be kind of like a refried bean texture, but I do want most of them at least squished a little bit. And you can see the little chickpea skins are popping off of there. Got 2 cameras going and you can't see everything. All right, so I'm gonna mash that a little bit. I can mash it a little bit more after I add my other ingredients. That's probably really loud on the camera, I'm sorry about that. I don't know where to put that. All right, then I'm going to add my onion. And I only want a couple of tablespoons of onion. Now I could grate it, but if I do that on camera, I'm gonna be crying. So I'm just going to finely dice it. I'm gonna just cut off a couple of strips here. Cover that. Hopefully I won't be crying, but I probably will. And then I'm going to see if I can move so that you can see. Thinly slice. A little awkward sitting at a table while I chop. I just thought I would use some different lighting. I like the natural light. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Saturday. It's beautiful weather here today. I'm using a red onion because I like that purpley color. That means it has the anthocyanins, which are my cancer fighters. They're going to help repair any oxidative damage. We always want as many colors as we can get into our meals, so we get all the different vitamins and minerals. All right, so as you can see, that is probably, that might be 4 tablespoons. Might be a little bit more onion than I want. If I end up with too much stuff, I might add another can of beans. We'll see what happens. Okay, so right now we just have the chickpeas with a little bit of the water and the onion. I am going to chop my apple. And I am just holding it with the core. Finger was on the hole as I chopped around. I didn't bring a little dish to put them in the can. Trash and things. All right, and now I'm gonna chop it pretty small because I don't know about you, but when I eat something like a chicken salad or tuna salad, which I don't, but if I did, I like to have a combination of flavors, different flavors and textures in each bite. So if I make it too big, if I make the chunks too big, then I'm only gonna taste the apple, but I wanna be able to get the apple with the pecan and raisins. I know I won't be able to get everything all at once. So far I just have it in slices. Now I'm going to stack my slices and cut them lengthwise. So they're almost like matchsticks. And then I'm going to lay them next to each other and chop it even smaller. So you can see I'm making this really small. So it's about the size of the bean. All right, so I'm gonna do that a few more times. Starting to smell the onion. Hopefully I won't start crying. All right. So several of my followers have did the summer reset and cut out processed foods and sugars. And so as long as we leave those raisins out, this goes right along with what we were already doing. This green apple, Granny Smith apples are not as sweet. This is a Granny Smith. Are not as sweet as some of your other apples. They are really good for you. Can't remember all of the different properties of the green apple that makes it better for you than the red, but I remember that it was ranked a little bit higher than the red apples. Some red apples are really good for you too. Apples are good for you. Alright. And I'm almost finished with this. When I get to the curved part of the apple, well, it's all curvy, but some of these are a little bit awkward to cut. Here we go. All right, so next I'm going to add my celery, and celery is very high in minerals and natural salt. If you are reducing your salt intake but need some salty food, celery will always give you a little bit of saltiness. I'm gonna cut it to about right here and here. These 2 pieces will go into my freezer bag for my broth. I always make my own broth on the weekends to make like my breakfast soup or any other soup in the wintertime. I'm going to cut down lengthwise at least once. And I think I'm gonna do that again, but first I'm gonna cut those in half to make it a little bit easier to do. I like I said, I like small pieces. If you can always cut them much bigger than that. You don't have to do what I'm doing. All right, so as you can see, I have these little strips. I'm gonna line them all up. I could have grated this as well. All right, so now we're adding lots of minerals and natural salts to our beans. Make sure your beans don't have added salt to them, or if they do, don't add any salt to your salad. I am going to add a little bit of Himalayan pink salt to mine after I taste it and see how much salt I think it needs. Here is my carrot. This is an organic carrot. I'm not going to peel it. Remember, just like the apple, most of the nutrients are in that area that holds the skin to the flesh. So don't peel unless it's not organic and you feel like you need to peel it. All right, so I'm just gonna grate this. I could chop it really small, but carrots are pretty hard. I'm gonna do half of the carrot and see how much. I don't want it to be too much carrot. But this is gonna add a beautiful flavor and color and lots more minerals. Your orange and your red are also contain the precursors to vitamin A, and most Americans, I say this in a lot of my videos, most Americans are deficient in vitamin A. Cooked red and orange are more easily absorbed, but anyway you can get it in, get it in. All right, so I grated all of it. This is kind of a small carrot. I got little pieces shooting everywhere. I'm going to save this part to go in my freezer bag for my broth. There we go. All right, so let me pour that in my bowl. The camera isn't seeing my bowl. Now you can see we have we have some red, we have some green, we have some orange. Luckily I remembered a towel. All right, I'm going to add some garlic powder. I could add some fresh garlic. Sometimes that can get a bit overpowering. So I'm adding a half a teaspoon of garlic. I'm going to add about a tablespoon. Oh, it squirted all over me. A tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Messy, messy. That was really messy. I'm going to add a tablespoon of the apple cider vinegar. And I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of tahini. I'm just going to pour it on. You don't have to be accurate, but about 2 tablespoons of tahini. That's going to make it really creamy. This, you know, we're not putting mayonnaise or anything in it. I don't want anything that's overly processed. All right, mix that all together. And I could have just mixed the dressing ingredients separately, but I'm trying to make it quick and easy, use as few items as possible to make it easier to clean. I don't know if you can see that on my camera, but it is beautiful, all those different colors and textures. So we could leave it just how it is. I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and pepper, a little bit of pink salt. This is Himalayan salt, which has minerals in it. I mean, regular table salt does have iodine added to it, but other than that, it's processed with aluminum. I have pecans here. Let me chop them a little bit, just a handful. I might do 2 handfuls, but I'm just gonna rough chop those so that when you bite it, you don't get just a pecan. I want, like I said, a little bit of everything. Looks like I need another handful. And these are organic pecans. 1 more handful of pecans, which are really good for you. These are a healthy fat. Walnuts, I think, are the best for omega-3s, which is wonderful for brain health. Pecans are not too far behind. There we go. This looks so delicious. Did I remember everything? Except my raisins, and you could leave those out or add them. Some people prefer craisins. You could always leave them out. Like I said, you could make a curry and use curry powder in there. And almonds instead of pecans, that would be delicious. And I've seen a lot that have tarragon in it. You could use tarragon. All right, so that was, it looked like a couple of handfuls, but I have really small hands, so it wasn't a lot. There you go. Those raisins will plump up a little bit. Ah, my mouth is watering. See, it is a delicious chickpea salad. That is gonna be fabulous. And so let's talk about what we could put that on. We could put it on, put everything in my way. I think what I'll probably do is make a wrap out of nori. I'm not ready to eat lunch yet, but I will shortly, and then I'll show you what I decide to do. I'll post a picture below. So this is nori. This is a seaweed. So when you buy seaweed, you want to buy from a reliable source, just because some of the waters have been have radiation in them. Maine Coast, I know, is a really good choice. I can't remember all the other ones, but anyway, do some research and make sure you choose your seaweed wisely. But seaweed is a wonderful way to get iodine into your body. You don't need a lot of iodine, and when you use it from something like algae, your body's going to take what it needs and let the rest of it go. If you take it in supplement form, sometimes you store those extra minerals that you don't need, that your body doesn't really recognize it. It's not from a natural source. And so it's always better to get it from your food, any of your minerals. Get them from food whenever you can. So what I will do, I'm not going to do it yet, but I will spread some of this onto my nori, and I might just roll it up like a burrito, or I may kind of wrap it kind of like a cone. Roll it up this way. I'm not going to do it ahead of time right now. I'm taping live because it will get soggy when it's time to eat it. So I will make sure that I will definitely post a picture for you. I will make one of those. All right, so seaweed, or you could even buy seaweed snacks. I don't know if you've seen those in the stores, but it is nori that has about a quarter of this size, and they come in a little small pack. You have to be careful because it's very salty, and you don't want to get too much salt. So we could also use lettuce. We could use a collard leaf or a large kale leaf. Just make sure you trim the rib. You just run your knife along the rib to trim that, and it makes it easy to fold and wrap. You could put it on top of spinach, or you could just put it on bread, or a flat bread, or tortilla. Any of those would be fabulous. Anyway, let me know if you make this recipe. It's gonna be fabulous on a hot day like this. And like and share my videos, and subscribe to my channel if you are on YouTube. Have a wonderful Saturday.